Good morning, everyone. This is Robert. RJO Network presents a special morning edition of Inside Pitch. The 1988 season is on the air. Because of the two football games tonight, I figured we'd have our game in the morning. Today's date is May 28th, 1988. We are at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field for a National League matchup between the Houston Astros and the Chicago Cubs. The Astros come into this game a record of 24-18, playing some pretty good ball. The Cubs, they're just awful, 12 wins and 33 losses. So this may be the last time we see the Cubs, as in the third schedule block, I start cutting the teams that are no longer in the playoff hunt. But you never know what may happen here. This was a very ugly game historically. The Cubs won this game 14-7. Well, kind of interesting, a football score today between those two in this game. And, of course, we got football games, so I'm not surprised that we have a football score historically, 14-7. The Astros, 7 runs, 10 hits, and 4 errors. The Cubs, 14 runs, 19 hits, and no errors. I guess Mike Scott didn't last long in this matchup. But I have a funny feeling that Inside Pitch is not going to replicate that, but you never know what may happen with those dice. Brian B., David Vega, Steeler fan, and John Solner are first to join us here at Wrigley Field. So again, as I said, an early game tonight, so we can watch the two NFL championship games today. And we will see what happens here in tonight's matchup. So without further ado, I guess let's get started. Starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs in this game was Calvin Schiraldi. 9 wins, 13 losses, a save, a 4.38 ERA. And of course, Schiraldi, we all know, is on the 86 Red Sox when the Mets. Schiraldi actually was brought in Game 6 until McNamara took him out and put in Bob Stanley. That's what really, in my opinion, that's what Schiraldi was really known for. But giving up the runs when it fought in the bottom of the 10th. But here he is a Cub today. So we will find out and see what happens as Schiraldi gets on the mound, and we are all set and ready to go. So let's go to the top of the first. Leading off for the Astros will be center fielder Gerald Young. 257 average, no homers, 37 RBIs in 88. We're going to use gray, white, and blue dice. Cubs are the home team. Everyone is set. Fans here at Wrigley Field, they always pack it, even though the Cubs are horrible. I'm just hoping to get a nice win. So let's see what happens. Schiraldi, 2-3, range play. Young, 5-6. That's a ground ball hit to short, and that ball is hit to Dunston. His range is a 2, and he's going to make the play, and he'll throw to first and get the out, 1 down. Nice play by Dunston on a ground out. Next up will be the left fielder, Billy Hatcher. 268 average, 7 homers, 52 RBIs in 88. King Tuan Gaming now joins us here at Wrigley Field. Schiraldi, 1-5. That's a pitcher result. Righty, 1-13's an out. The 1 is good, and that is going to be a grounder to second. That'll be handled by Sandberg for the second out. Al, Red Sox fan, King of the Hill, joins us here at Wrigley Field. I don't know if I really need to tell you all about his channel, because his channel is, well, just simply magnificent in everything he does. He did a great pre-play of the AFC and NFC championship games using Pro Strategy Football 23. Please check it out. Next batter will be the first baseman, Glenn Davis. 271 average, 30 homers, 99 RBIs. Schiraldi with the pitch. 1-3 against the righty. Strikeout +4, called strike 3. He gets Davis on a ball right down the middle, and he'll get him out. First strikeout for Schiraldi. He had 140 of them in 88. Not too bad for him. Nothing across for the Astros, and we will go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the Houston Astros. Their main man that year, Mike Scott, and he still had a very good year in 88. 14 wins, 8 losses, a 2.92 ERA. Scott still knew how to pitch, and he was still pretty good in the 88 season. Let's see what the Cubs bring here in the bottom of the first. Leading off will be center fielder Dave Martinez, 255 average, 6 homers, 46 RBIs. Scott with the pitch, 3-1, strikeout 20, and that's going to be too high. Wrigley Field subtracts 1 from strikeouts and 3 from walks. Martinez, 6-4, and that's a leadoff base hit into left field. So Martinez will get himself a single off of Scott. And the next batter will be the left fielder, Rafael Palmeiro. Would be in the Hall of Fame except for the crack. 307 average, 8 homers, 53 RBIs. Palmeiro, of course, a young Palmeiro here in 88. Infield at double play depth. Martinez at 23 stolen bases. That is a 7. He gets the steal sign. Let's see. 14 plus 2 is 16. Ashby plus 2 is 18. They're going to send him. A 1-18. Martinez is safe, and he is. Martinez will steal second base, and why not? You're the Cubs. You have a record of 12 wins and 33 losses. You really already don't figure here in the 88 season, so you might as well do something. And that does take the double play away. Martinez, a 17 this time, and he will stay put. Scott with the pitch. Scott, 6-4 against the lefty. That will be an out. And it's a grounder to short, taken care of there by Ramirez. Throw goes to first. Martinez is not going to go to third. He will stay at second base as that ball was hit too hard, and that is 1 out. 1 down, and that will bring up the right fielder, Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Scott Rowland, no. This is a real Hall of Famer. 303 average, 24 homers, 79 RBIs. The Hawk will go ahead and bat. Strategy, nothing on the 8. Scott with the pitch. Scott, 6'5", strikeout plus, and he'll get him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And he'll go ahead and get his first strikeout. He had 190 of them in 88. Like I said, Scott was still pretty good. That'll bring up the second baseman, another real Hall of Famer, Ryne Sandberg, 264 average, 19 homers, 69 RBIs. Not Scott Rowland. Scott will go ahead, we'll have a strategy roll, and that is a 2. Martinez actually gets the steal sign to go to third, but they'll let Sandberg bat. Scott, 1-4 against the righty. That is a blank. Sandberg, 1-2. That's grounded to short one more time. Ramirez will take care of it, toss it to first. And that ends the inning. No runs, a hit, and a stolen base. No score after 1. Scott Rowland. Hall the very good, yeah. Hall of Fame, no. You mean you want to put him up there with the likes of George Brett and Mike Schmidt? Come on. Scott Rowland couldn't hold Mike Schmidt's jockstrap. Top of the second, leading off for the Astros will be the catcher, Alan Ashby. 238 average, 7 homers, 33 RBIs in 88. Schiraldi with the pitch. 3-3. Home run chance. Switch left. 1-4. The 6 is too high. Ashby did hit a home run the last time we saw him in the game against the Mets. Ashby, 4-3, but this time it's just going to be a fly out to center, and it's going to be Martinez making the play. 1 down, and here comes the right fielder, Kevin Bass. Bass is 255 average, 14 homers, 72 RBIs. Salvador America joins us here at Wrigley Field. Always a pleasure to have you there, Salvador. Hope you and Mrs. America are doing fine. So how do I really feel about Scott Rowland? Schiraldi, 6'4", strikeout 13. That's going to be high. Bass, 3-1. That's lifted to left. And that's going to be Palmeiro making the play. 2 outs. And now we will see the third baseman, Craig Reynolds. He's at third for this game. 255 average, a homer, 14 RBIs. Schiraldi with the pitch. Schiraldi, 2-4, walk plus, and that will be ball 4. As that 5 will walk Reynolds. That's a walk plus, which makes Reynolds a 15. -3 is 12. And he will still walk Reynolds, so he will go to first. We are doing just good there, Salvador America, because it is always a pleasure to see you, my friend. 2 outs, and the next batter is the second baseman, Jim Pankovitz. He got the second base nod today, not Doran. 221 average, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Anything on the strat, Reynolds will stay put. Schiraldi with the pitch. 1-5, pitcher result, righty, 1-13's an out. The 16 is high. Pankovitz, 2-1, he grounds it right to first. And that's going to be Grace is going to take it. And he will tag the bag by himself and retire the side. Nothing across except a walk. And we go to the bottom of the second here in Wrigley Field. Leading off for the Cubs will be first baseman Mark Grace. Now, if you're going to put in Scott Rowland, why don't you put in Mark Grace? He actually had better stats. 296 average, 7 homers, 57 RBIs. If you're going to put in Rowland, you should put in Mark Grace. Mark Grace definitely hauled the very good. And if you're going to put in Rowland, I don't know why you don't put in Amazing Grace. Scott with the pitch. 1-5, range play. Grace. 6-5. That's a fly ball hit to right field. That's hit to Bass. Bass's range is a 3, and that is a 6. He's not going to get to it, and that's going to be a double as he splits the gap, and Grace is going to wind up on second. Leadoff double for Grace. And he will go ahead and hold on at second base. Mark Grace was a nasty player at the plate. He really was a terror. You never know what to do with him. Next batter will be the catcher, Jody Davis. 230 average, 7 homers, 36 RBIs. Grace going to do anything? The answer is no. Scott will pitch. Scott, 4-6, strikeout plus. That 17 will get him. He struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Scott. And that is 1 down. That'll bring up the third baseman, Vance. I fought the law, and the law won. 293 average, 11 homers, 78 RBIs. Runner still at second. Anything on the strat? Nope. Grace will stay where he is. Scott will make the pitch. Scott, 4-2, strikeout plus. That 20, though, is going to be too high. Law, 5-6. It's grounded to second base, and it's going to be handled by Pankovitz. He'll throw to first, and Grace will move over to third. Grounded to second, Grace moved to third, and that will bring up the shortstop, Shawn Dunston. 249 average, 9 homers, 56 RBIs. Dunston, the Cubs are putting Dunston in the Cubs Hall of Fame along with Mark Grace. Mark Grace, I have no problem with. Dunston, I'm still a little bit on the fence. I'm a little bit on the fence with Dunston being put in the Cubs Hall of Fame, but I have no problem at all with Mark Grace. Mark Grace was a monster. Strategy roll. That's an 11, nothing happening. Scott with the pitch. Scott, 4-5. Wild pitch, 3? No, but a possible pass ball. The catcher is Ashby. His pass ball rating is a 4, and that is a 6. It'll bounce off his chest protector. It'll go to the backstop. Grace is going to score 1-0 Cubs. The only way Scott gets a pass ball is on a 3, and that is a 3. And Ashby's pass ball rating was a 4, but he's not going to get that one. That's a bad play on the catcher. And Grace will score 1-0 Cubs. So now Dunston will bat with the bases empty with 2 outs. Scott, 5-6, strikeout, 14. That is high. Dunston, 1-4. He lifts one to right. Getting over there is going to be Bass. And that'll retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and a pass ball. And it's 1-0 Cubs after 2. Maybe that chat bot will learn how to fairly induct Hall of Fame members, eliminate human biases. I agree. Chuck Rawlings joins us here at Wrigley Field. We go to the top of the third inning. Cubs already up with a 1-0 lead. Leading off for the Astros will be the shortstop, Rafael Ramirez, 276 average, 6 homers, 59 RBIs. Schiraldi, 2-4. Walk plus, that 18 is actually going to be too high. Ramirez, 4-2, but he gets a base hit to right anyway, so Ramirez will head to first on a single. Single for Ramirez, leadoff man on. That'll bring up the pitcher, Mike Scott, an 085 average. He did have 5 RBIs. Infield will bring in the corners, expecting a bunt. That is a 14, and Scott is going to bunt, so we'll see the bunt attempt coming up. Schiraldi will go ahead and pitch. 5-1, strikeout 12, and that, believe it or not, that is not going to strike him out. On a bunt attempt, strikeouts are halved. But 24 divided by 2 is 12, but -1 is going to make that an 11. He will not strike out, so Scott will go ahead and lay down the bunt. And that is bunted to the third baseman, and that's a 19, and that is not good. The corners are in, so his bunt rating will become a 3, and that's bunted too hard, and that's a chance for a double play. So 0, -1, no chance of a double play, so we got to see where the ball went to. So it's bunted to third, and that is a 5, and that's going to be thrown to second to get Ramirez. They will not turn the double play, and that will be 1 out, but Scott will make it to first. So 1 out, infield now with double play depth. They couldn't really do a double play with the corners in, but still, there was only 1 play he could do it. Top of the order now for Young. And that goes as a fielder's choice. Young is 0 for 1. Young, Scott, I don't think he's going to do anything. Nope, he's going to stay put. Schiraldi, 5-6. That is a blank. Young, 1-2. Ground ball, second base. 3-2-3. Shortstop, Dunston, -1. Pivot, a 1 or a 2. It's a double play. And they will not get it. Scott is thrown out at second, and Young will take his place. 2 down. Another fielder's choice. Here next up is Hatcher. Hatcher is 0 for 1. Young had 65 stolen bases. That is a 13, and he is, wow, he just misses the attempt to steal. He will stay put. Schiraldi, 6-5 against the righty. Strikeout plus, but that 20 is going to be too high. Hatcher, 4-4, and he hits a fly ball straight away center. And Martinez will get to it and retire the side. No runs, a hit, as the Astros really aren't able to do anything in that inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Cubs will be their pitcher, Calvin Schiraldi, a 100 average and 5 RBIs in 88. Scott with the pitch. Scott, 1-2. That's at the park. Wrigley Field, 5-4. That's a home run to the pull side, but Schiraldi has zeros. So that's going to be a fly out to left, and that'll be out number 1. One down. The next batter is Martinez. You got it there, Salvador America. Catch you later, sir. Martinez got a single and a stolen base his first time up. Scott, 1-1 against the lefty. Walk plus. That's not going to walk Martinez. 8 - 3 is 5, plus 10 is 15. Martinez, 3-2. He hits a fly to left, and that's going to be caught by Hatcher. That is out number 2. Pitchers are getting good rolls on avoiding walks and strikeouts so far here. Here's Palmeiro. He's 0 for 1. Scott with the pitch. 1-3, strikeout 6. That is high. Palmeiro didn't strike out much. 1-3, but he does fly out there. That's going to be a fly out to center. And that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Scott. 1-0 Cubbies after 3. Top of the 4th. Leading off for the Astros will be Glenn Davis. He's 0 for 1. Schiraldi pitching a pretty good game so far. The final score of this game historically was 14-7. a football score, considering the football games we have today. Pretty interesting. Schiraldi, 4-6, strikeout, 18 is high. Davis, 3-2, fly ball hit the left. Palmeiro will run across a little bit in the left center, but he will make the catch. 1 out. Ashby is next. He's 0 for 1. Schiraldi with the pitch. 6-3, range play at the park. Wrigley, 3-6. That's a single in the center field, but it's a range play for Martinez. His range is a 3, and he's not going to get it. That's going to be a base hit. For Ashby, hit it to a little bit of a bloop single, and Martinez had to come in a little bit, and he takes it on the hop, and that will be a base hit for Ashby. Next batter is Bass. Bass is 0 for 1. Infield a double play. Ashby not a threat really to do anything, and that is a 4. Schiraldi does have good pickoff ratings, though. Bass set at the plate. Schiraldi with the pitch. 1-2, strikeout 4. He got him, swing and a miss. Strikeout, 2 down. And that is the second strikeout for Schiraldi. Here comes Reynolds. Reynolds walked his first time up. Nothing on Strat. Schiraldi will go ahead and pitch to Reynolds. Schiraldi, 2-4. Walk plus. That 15 is going to be too high. Reynolds becomes a 15, but -3 makes him a 12. Reynolds, 4-1. He lifts one to left field. That is a 2, and that's going to be a base hit to left. It'll be a single. Single to left. Ashby, I don't think he has any chance. Even with a base runner 2 with 2 outs, single to left is still going to be a -2. And Ashby is mud, and he will hold at second base. No chance to get to third. So a single by Reynolds puts runners at first and second now. For Pankovitz. Pankovitz is 0 for 1. Still 2 outs here. And again, nothing on the Strat. Schiraldi in a bit of a jam here in the top of the 4th. 1-0 Cubs. Schiraldi, 3-6, error on a grounder. Pankovitz, 3-5. That is not going to be an error. That's going to be a slow hit ball to third. Coming in is Law. Pankovitz, a base running rating of 2. The throw to first. They got him, side retired. That's an infield, possible infield single. But there's no way he gets to third. Nice play by Law. And that'll be a ground out to third, and the inning is over. No runs on 2 hits. As a nice play there by Law to keep the Astros from getting anything here on the board. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. In a pitcher's duel here in a game where historically there were 21 runs scored. Like I said, inside pitch has a mind of its own. The Hawk, Andre Dawson, leads off. He's 0 for 1, a real Hall of Famer. Scott will go ahead and pitch. Scott, 4-5, wild pitch, ball 1. 3-6, hit by pitch, 7. He hit him, plunk, ouch. Dawson, a 5 plus 8 makes him a 13, and Dawson will go to first, being hit by the pitch. First hit batter in the game. It'll bring up Rhino, a real Hall of Famer. Rhino is 0 for 1. Infield double play. Dawson had 12 stolen bases that year, but he's not going anywhere. Do they get the hit and run here? Let's see here. 2 plus 2 is 4. Sandberg, -1 is a 7. That was a 7. Yeah, they do get the hit and run, but I'm going to let Sandberg swing here. If you do, because Sandberg has home run power. Scott, 4-1, strikeout 12. That is high. Sandberg, 1-5. That's a ground ball to short. Let's see if they turn it. 2-1-2. Second base, Pankovitz pivot 0. 1-2 double play. They will not get it. Dawson will be thrown out at second base. And Sandberg will take over at first for the out. After the out, I should say. On the fielder's choice. Next up is Amazing Grace. He got a double his last time up and scored on a pass ball. Infield still at double play depth. Sandberg, 25 stolen bases, and he does get the steal sign, and he's going. 14 plus 2 is 16. Ashby +2 is 18. There it goes Sandberg, 1-18. He gets there, and he just got under the tag. A 1-18, he gets there, and that is an 18, and he just got under it. Probably just beat it by maybe a millisecond. But Sandberg is safe on a stolen base. That will take away the double play rating. Double play. As Sandberg steals second base, they'll do it again on the strat. That is a 6, and this time he's not going anywhere. Scott will now pitch to Grace. Scott, 2-4, walk, 2, that's ball 4, and Grace will trot to first. So they really didn't even need to try to steal. That is the first walk issued by Scott. He only had 47 of them in 88. That's pretty good control. 47 walks and 218 innings pitched. That's pretty darn good. Very good control. Here's Davis. Davis is 0 for 1. Infield back to double play. Anything on strat? The answer is no. Scott will pitch to Davis. Runners at first and second for the Cubs. Scott, 2-3. That's at the park. Wrigley Field, 2-5. And that's going to be a base hit, possible double to left field. That will be a single, and at least Davis will try to turn for 2. Sandberg automatically will score. Grace automatically goes to third. Davis trying for 2. Base runner run. Left fielder is Hatcher. The only way he can get to second is on a 1. That is a 5. He puts on the brakes knowing he's really not that fast, and he will hold at first base. RBI single for Davis. Cubs now up 2-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! Here comes the Law. Law is 0 for 1. Runners at the corners, and they're going to keep it at double play depth and try to end the inning here. 2-0 Cubs. The Cubs did win this game historically, though, even though it was for 21 runs. Strategy roll. That's a 12, no play. Grace will stay where he is, and so will Davis. Scott with the pitch. 4-1, strikeout 6, and he got him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And that is strikeout number 3 for Scott. 2 outs to get Law. It'll bring up Dunston. Dunston is 0 for 1. Jody, Buffy, and Sissy Davis. Yep. 2 outs. Now can Scott get out of the inning with a minimum of damage? That 6 is not going to do anything there. And he will pitch. Scott, 1-4 against a righty. That is a blank. Dunston, 3-5. Ground ball, second base. Pankovitz will take care of it. He'll toss it over to first. And the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 hit by pitch, stolen base, and a walk. But the Cubs have a 2-0 lead here after 4. Top of the 5th coming up. Schiraldi gets back on the mound. Rafael Ramirez leads off. He got a base hit his first time up. Schiraldi, 5-4. That is a blank. Ramirez, 1-4. Ground ball hit to third. That'll be taken care of by Law for out number 1. Scott is next to pitch, up to bat. Ground into a fielder's choice, trying to bunt last time up. Schiraldi, 1-3 against a righty. Strikeout plus. He'll get Scott easily there. That'll be strikeout number 3 for Schiraldi, 2 down. And now Young. Young is 0 for 2. Never heard of them or that show. Schiraldi will go ahead and pitch. Schiraldi, 2-2, strikeout 6. Cold strike 3 on the outside corner. Young is out on a 6, and he got him. Strikeout number 4 for Schiraldi. And 1, 2, 3 go the Astros. Now Schiraldi looking like Roger Clemens on the mound right now. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Cubs will be Calvin Schiraldi. He is 0 for 1. 2-0 Cubs. Pitchers duel in a game they historically had 21 runs in. Scott, 2-1. Range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 4-2. That is a single into center field. It's up to Young to make a play. His range is a 2. That is a 5, and Schiraldi's going to get on base with a range play single. So Young couldn't get into it. Was blooped into center. Young took a little bit of a bad angle to it, and Schiraldi would be safe at first. Leadoff hit. Martinez is next. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base. I don't think Schiraldi's doing anything, and he's not. Scott will go ahead and pitch. Scott, 6-1 against the lefty. That's a blank. Martinez, 4-1. Ground ball to second. 1-0-1. Shortstop, Ramirez, a -1 pivot, so no chance of a double play. That is a 5. Schiraldi be thrown out at second, and Martinez will take over at first for the out. And that is another fielder's choice. Next up is Palmeiro. Palmeiro 0 for 2. Infield double play. Martinez at 23 stolen bases. That is a 9. And he, 5 plus 2. Nope, he does not get the steal sign. He does get the hit and run, but I'm going to let Palmeiro swing the bat. Actually, you know what? A hit and run actually makes sense here. 5 plus 2 is 7. Palmeiro does not strike out much. Hit and run is called. Scott, 3-1, strikeout 11, that is high. Palmeiro, 4-1, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. 2-1-2. Second base, Pankovitz is 0. Now, 1 or a 2 would be a double play, but since it's a hit and run, the double play is subtracted by 2, so there's no chance of a hit and run. That is a 1. Martinez will make it to second. The only play they have is the first. Because the base running ability of the runner increases by 2. So it's an easy play. Martinez goes to second, and that will just be a ground out to second base. So no chance there. But the runner does go to second on the hit and run. Martinez, good speed. But now there are 2 outs for the Hawk. Dawson got hit by a pitch his last time up. He is 0 for 2. Nothing on the strat. Scott will go ahead and pitch. Scott, 5-2, strikeout 11. Nope. Dawson, 1-1, and that's grounded to second. It'll be handled by Pankovitz. He'll take his time, toss it over to first, and end the inning. No runs and a hit here for the Cubs. Still 2-0 in favor of the Cubbies. At the fans here at the friendly confines enjoying a nice ball game right now. As I said, nowhere close so far to the actual game that was played between these two. But then again, if that's what I wanted was to see the actual game that was played, just pop it on YouTube and find it somewhere, or why play the ball game? You never know. We go to the top of the 6th, 2-0 Cubbies. Astros trying to find some offense. Billy Hatcher leads off. He's 0 for 2. Schiraldi still got plenty in the tank. And Scott still does a little bit. Schiraldi, 6-1, error on a throw. Hatcher, 6-3. Nope, that's line drive right to Schiraldi. He'll glove it for the out. Schiraldi puts up his glove. He didn't have to really move quick. It wasn't hit that hard. But Schiraldi's got it. 1 down. Here comes Davis. Davis is 0 for 2. Schiraldi, 1-1. Against the righty, that's going to be an out. And it will be a fly ball hit to center. Martinez will get to this one and put it away. 2 down. 2 outs now for Ashby. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Cards and Dice TV, Tony Porter joins us here at Wrigley Field. Can you quiet down in the church and prayer? Why are you watching my stream if you're in church there, Tony Porter? Yeah, answer that question. Schiraldi, 2-5, strikeout 16, that is high. Ashby, 5-3, and he pumped that one up, and that's going to be popped up in the infield to first base, and that's going to be Grace making the play, and he's got it. 1, 2, 3, go the Astros, and we go to the bottom of the sixth, still 2-0 Cubbies. Scott gets on the mound. Rhino Sandberg leads off, and he is 0 for 2. Scott with the pitch. 3-6, hit by pitch. The 17 is high. Sandberg, 2-2, lifted to right, and it's going to be Bass getting to there. Makes the play, 1 out. 1 down, here comes Amazing Grace. He is 1 for 1, a double, scored on a pass ball and walked. Scott with the pitch. 2-1, range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 5-6, and that is a single plus to right field. Possible double, but Bass gets the chance to make a play. Bass's range is a 3, and he won't get it. Grace will round first. He's got to try for second, base runner 3. And let's see, Bass is 0 arm, 1-3. Grace will get there, and he does. Grace puts on the Jets, thinking that a bad angle by Bass couldn't get there, and Grace does slide into second, and that will be a double. As he turns on the Jets, and he gets into second base, bringing up Davis. Davis 1 for 2 with a single. Another run at second base. They talk to Scott on the mound, see how he's feeling. They say he can still go. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Strategy rolls are still on. Nothing on the 6th. Grace will stay where he is. Scott, 1-6. Home run result. Lefty. Davis needs an 8. The 14 is too high. Davis, 3-3. Instead, he lines it right to short. That is out number 2. Can they double off Grace? A 2 or 3, he is out. And he is. Grace is off the bag. Taken care of by Ramirez. Throws to second to double Grace off, and it is done. L6-4 double play, inning over. No runs, a hit for the Cubs. As Grace thought that was ball was going to go straight to the outfield, but Grace was like about 10 steps off the bag. An easy play for Ramirez to double him off, and that will end it. 2-0 Cubs after 6. Rapidly moving ball game here. We go to the top of the 7th. Schiraldi gets back on the mound. Kevin Largemouth Bass will lead off. He is 0 for 2. Schiraldi pitching an absolute gem. At least today is. Schiraldi, 4-6, strikeout. The 15 is high. Bass, 1-5, ground ball to short. Dunston will take care of it. And that is the first out. Reynolds is next. Reynolds is 1 for 1. Got a base hit his last time up. Schiraldi with the pitch. Schiraldi, 6-1, error on a throw. Reynolds, 1-2, ground ball to first. That ball is hit to Grace. His error rating is a 9. That's a 10. He won't make an error. Schiraldi comes over, and Grace throws it to him to covering the bag. 2 down. Grace doesn't make an error there. 2 away. Here comes Pankovitz. Pankovitz is 0 for 2. Schiraldi ready to deal with Pankovitz here. Fans here at Wrigley Field enjoying the ball game. Schiraldi, 1-1 against the righty. That's going to be an out. And it's a ground ball to second, taken care of there by Rhino. And he's going to throw to first. Side retired. 1, 2, 3, go the Astros. And Schiraldi pitching beautifully. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I will be right back. We got 10-minute ticker coming up after the game, so don't forget that. Our next game will be tomorrow night. It will be May 31st, the last game in the month of May. And we're going back to a trip. We're going back to the Mistake by the Lake, Cleveland Stadium, tomorrow night. It will be the Kansas City Royals taking on the Cleveland Indians. Mark Gubicza will be back on the mound again for the Royals, and he's going to take on John Farrell of the Indians. So that will be tomorrow night's game, our last game for May. So join us there May 31st. Kansas City taking on Cleveland at the Mistake by the Lake. We go to the bottom of the seventh here. Cubs a 2-0 lead in a game where the Cubs won it 14-7. So, like I said, inside pitch has a mind of its own sometimes. Vance Law will lead off for the Cubs. He's 0 for 2. Scott can pitch to 3 more batters before fatigue. Scott with the pitch. Scott 6-4 against the righty. That is a blank. Law 3-1, and that's hit to short. Handled easily by Ramirez, and that is out number 1. Dunston is next. Dunston 0 for 2. Scott sets up with the pitch. Scott 3-3 against the righty. Walk 6. Nope, that's too high. Dunston 1-4, and that's a fly ball at the right. Getting over there will be Bass. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Schiraldi will be tired. They're going to take Schiraldi out. He's pitched a beautiful game, but they're going to go ahead and yank him. And they're going to go to the bullpen here, even though he is pitching a shutout. Or do I keep him in there or not? I just think he's going to be tired after the next batter he faces. And that's going to be it for Schiraldi. Cubs are going to go ahead and go to the bench. And pinch hitting against Scott is going to be Damon Berryhill. 259 average, 7 homers, 38 RBIs. Berryhill will pinch hit against Scott. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Cubs. Scott with the pitch, 6-6, strikeout 12, and he got him. Called strike 3, maybe a little high, but the umpire thought that's what it was. And that is going to be strikeout number 4 for Scott, and the inning is over on the strikeout. After 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs, still 2-0 in favor of the Cubbies. And we will go to the top of the 8th. Leading off for the Astros will be Rafael Ramirez. He is 1 for 2 with a single. And let's see, you got a pinch hitter coming up and switch. And I think they're going to go to a righty from the bullpen for the Cubs. Coming on to pitch for the Cubs is going to be Les Lancaster. 4 wins, 6 losses, 5 saves, a 3.78 ERA. Lancaster will come in to pitch. Ramirez against Lancaster. Top of the 8th, 2-0 Cubs. Lancaster, 4-2. That's a pitcher result. Righty, 1 to 5's an out. The 5 is good, and that is going to be a fly ball hit to right. And getting over there is Dawson. He'll make the catch. 1 out. Scott is next up, but they're going to go to the bench as well. That'll be it for Mike Scott. And the Astros will go to the bench. And coming on to pinch hit will be Bill Doran. 248 average, 7 homers, 53 RBIs. Doran will go up against Lancaster here. Lancaster, 3-2. That is a blank. Doran, 2-2. And that's hit to center field against the righty. That's a 4, and that's going to be a pinch hit single for Doran. So Doran hits one into center. And he will hold it first. And now we'll see if the Astros can do something here. Here is Young. Young is 0 for 3. Infield double play. Doran, 17 stolen bases. And he's not going anywhere on the 17. And Young will swing away. Lancaster. Astros with a chance. Lancaster with the pitch. 3-4 against the switch left. That is a blank. Young. 3-5, fly ball, right field, Dawson. He's got it. 2 down. Hatcher is next. Hatcher 0 for 3. Doran on it first. Lancaster, see what they got on the strat. The 10 says nothing. Doran will stay where he is. Hatcher sets up and waits for the pitch. Lancaster, 3-6, range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 1-6, and that's a fly ball to center. It's a range play for Martinez. His range is a 3. Nope, he will not get it, and that's going to be a single for Hatcher. Doran with 2 outs, base runner 5. Single for Hatcher plus is a 0 on a single to center, so a 1-5. Doran will make third, and that is a 6. Here comes the throw by Martinez. He has a +1 arm, a 1 or 2 that could be an out. That is a 3, and Doran puts on the brakes, and he will hold at second base. So that is a single for Hatcher. But Doran stops at second as Martinez got that ball in quickly. Now a chance for Davis with the go-ahead run at the plate. Davis is 0 for 3. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Cubs lead 2-0. Strategy roll. That is a 14. Nothing happening. And Lancaster will pitch to Davis. Lancaster's got to be careful. Davis hits righties a little better. Doran at second, Hatcher at first. A real threat for the Stros right now. Lancaster, 2-6. That is a blank. Davis, 6-5. And he popped it up into second base. Calling for it is Sandberg. He waves everybody off. He will make the catch and retire the side. Stadium cheers. Yay! No runs, 2 hits. Lancaster gets it done. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-0 Cubs. Top of the order for the Cubs here in Dave Martinez. He is 1 for 3. Astros need a pitcher. And you got left, right. So we may see a lefty, and we will. Coming on to pitch for the Astros will be Juan Agosto. 10 wins, 2 losses, 4 saves, a 2.26 ERA. Agosto will be the second Astro pitcher. Martinez leads off. 2-0 Cubs in a game that had 21 runs. Agosto, 6-6. Against the lefty, that's an out. And it will be a fly ball at the right. And Bass will get under it and put it away. 1 down. Palmeiro is next. Cubs looking for insurance. 0 for 3 is Palmeiro today. That 307 average not coming in today. Agosto, 3-4, range play. Palmeiro, 4-5, ground ball to first. The ball is hit to Davis. Davis's range is a 4. That is a 2. He'll take care of it. Agosto comes over. Davis throws to him. 2 down. Two outs. And now the batter is the Hawk. He is 0 for 2. Got hit by a pitch. Agosto sets up against Dawson. Fans here at Wrigley would like to see some insurance. Here comes the pitch. Agosto 5-2 against a righty walk. The 19 is high. Dawson 5-6, and he hits a deep fly ball to right, but not deep enough. Bass will camp under it and grab it. And 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs. 2-0 here after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? I know Steeler fan does not want to see any 9th inning magic. I know he does not want any 9th inning magic. We go to the top of the 9th. Alan Ashby is the leadoff batter. Cubs are going to go to the bullpen. They're going to bring out the closer. And that is going to be the Goose. The Goose is loose. Goose Gossage. 4 wins, 4 losses, 13 saves. A 4.33 ERA. He is the closer for this team. And they're going to go ahead and bring him out As Steeler fan says, magic, magic, magic. Alan Ashby due to bat. Question is, do I want to pinch hit for him? And I think I do. Ashby's going to come out of the game, and coming on to pinch hit for Ashby is going to be Terry Poole. 303 average, 3 homers, 19 RBIs. Alex Trevino will take over at catcher if the game goes any further. So Terry Poole will go up against Gossage here. Top of the 9th, 2-0 Cubs. Gossage with the pitch. 4-4, walk, 6, and he walked him. Gossage goes ahead and walks the first batter he faces, and just like that, the tying run to the plate. Did you expect a 1-2-3 closing inning? I think not. Bass is next. He's 0 for 3. Poole did have 22 stolen bases. Double play is called. Anything on the strat? Nope. Poole will stay where he is. Gossage will deal with Bass. Fans here at Wrigley now knowing a little bit concerned. Gossage, 4-1 against the switch left. That is a blank. Bass, 5-4. Ground ball, second base. 2-1-2. Shortstop Dunston, -1 pivot. The only way they turn a double play is on a 1. It is a 2. Poole will reach second base, though. So the only play that Dunston had was a throw to first to get Bass, and that's 1 out. So they do get the sure out. As Poole does go to second on a grounder to short. Next batter is Reynolds. Reynolds is 1 for 2. Infield is now back. Question is, I think you pitched to Reynolds here. Gossage will pitch to Reynolds. 1 out. Runner at second base for the Astros. 2-0 Cubs. Strategy rolls are inactive. Actually, I shouldn't even be rolling strategy. Strategy rolls are inactive. Gossage with the pitch. 2-2 against the lefty. Strikeout plus that 12. He got him. He got him. Oh, boy. Reynolds is a 9. -1 is an 8, but a strikeout plus makes him an 18, and he gets Reynolds. 2 down. And now the batter is Pankovitz. And am I going to let him bat? And the answer is yes, he will. Pankovitz will bat. So Jim Pankovitz, a last chance for the Stros. He is 0 for 3. Poole on at second. Gossage trying to get the save here for the Cubs. 2-0. The historical score of this game was 14-7. There were 29 hits in this game historically. The Astros committed 4 errors. Inside pitch definitely had something else to say today. Strategy rolls are off. Pitcher versus batter. Gossage gets the sign from Davis. Pankovitz waiting. Here comes the pitch from the Goose. 6-5. Strikeout 3. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. That's your game. Cubs shut out the Astros today 2-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! Nothing across except a walk as the Cubs get a win here over the Astros. A nice win for them, although they're way out of it. That only brings their record to 13-33. The Astros will drop to 24-19. But that is a nice win for the Cubs here against, in my opinion, a better team. And they get it done here. 2-0 Cubs, a shutout in a game which was at 21 runs historically. Final line score coming up. For the Cubs, 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. For the Astros, no runs on 5 hits and no errors. The winning pitcher is Calvin Schiraldi. He'll get the win, and Mike Scott takes a tough loss. As for some reason, the Astros just could not figure out Schiraldi. Then Lancaster gets a hold, and Gossage does come up with the save. 10-minute ticker is coming right up. Don't go away. Very quickly, very fast game today. Not even an hour into the stream. Very fast game. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. And again, one more time, I would like to thank Brian Davis for joining us in the chat a couple of days ago, who created the FastScore system. 2-0 win here for the Cubs. And we will go with May 28th. Let's see what happens here with the rest of the league. Baltimore at the Angels. Orioles 7-26, and that is 3. Angels 13-23, and that is also 3. They will tie. Baltimore rolls a 1 plus 0. California rolls a 1 plus 0. It is a tie, which means the Angels, by virtue of home field, get the win. Milwaukee at Cleveland. Brewers 13-23, and that is 3. Tribe 10-36, and that is 4. That will be a win for the Indians. Texas and the Royals. Texas 14-61, that is 7. Kansas City 10-26, and that is 3. And that's a win for the Rangers. Tigers and the Twins. Tigers 10-34, and that's 4. Twins 12-65, and that is 9. That'll be a win for the Twins. Boston and Oakland. Red Sox 11-34, and that is 4. Athletics 19-16, and that is 3. That will be a win for the Bo Sox. Yankees and the Mariners. Yankees 18-46, and that is 6. Mariners 17-55, and that is 7. That's going to be a win for the M's. White Sox and the Blue Jays. White Sox 4-23, and that's 2. Blue Jays 17-21, and that's 3. That will be a win for the Jays. Cardinals and the Braves. Cardinals 10-54, 6 runs. Atlanta 145, that's 3 runs, a win for the Redbirds. Pirates and the Reds. Pirates 651, and that's 4. Reds 523, and that's 2, and that will be a win for the Pirates. Dodgers and the Expos. Dodgers 1152, and that is 5. Expos 963, and that's 7. That will be a win for the Expos. Padres and the Mets. Can my Mets get some wins here? Padres minus 155, and that's 4. But the Mets have a 766, and that's 9, and my Mets will have a happy recap. San Francisco and the Phillies. Giants 1351, and that is 6. Fightin' Phil's 1124, and that is 3. And that will be a win for the Giants. May 29th, Baltimore at the Angels. Baltimore 723, and that is 2. Angels 1263, that's 8. Another win for the Halos. Milwaukee at Cleveland. Brewers 755, that is 5. Indians 912, that's 1, and that will be a win for the Brew Crew. Rangers and the Royals. Rangers 735, and that will be 3. Kansas City 2041, that should be a win. It is. It's 6, and a win for the Royals. Detroit at Minnesota. Detroit 532, and that's 3. Twins 1345, and that is 5. Another win for the Twins. Boston and the A's. Bo Sox 1125, and that is 3. Athletics 1724, and that's 4. That will be a win for the A's. Yankees and the Mariners. Yankees 22-64, and that is 10. M's 852, and that is 5. And the Yankees will get that win. White Sox and the Blue Jays. White Sox 7-23, and that's 2. Blue Jays 12-35, and that is 4. A win for the Jays. Cardinals and the Braves. Cardinals 19-41, and that's 5. Braves 7-54, that's also 5. They will tie. Cardinals roll a 3 plus 0. Braves roll a 4 minus 2 is 2. That's going to be a win for the Cardinals. Astros and the Cubs. Astros 842, and that is 4. Cubs 11-36, and that is also 4. They will tie. Astros roll a 3. Houston rolls a 3 plus 1 is 4. Cubs roll a 3 minus 1 is 2, and that will be a win for the Astros. Pirates and the Reds. Pirates 13-45, and that's 5. Reds 7-56, that's 6. It will be a win for the Reds. Dodgers and the Expos. Dodgers 7-13, that's 1. Expos minus 166 is 7. The Expos still get the win. Padres and the Mets. Can my Mets win another one here? San Diego 3-34, and that is 3. Mets 14-43, and that is 5. Another happy recap for my Mets. That gets us back over 500 again. Giants and the Phillies. Giants 16-54, and that is 7. Phillies 7-52, that's 5. It'll be a win for the Giants. The Giants right now still holding on, still lead the National League West. May 30th, Boston and California. Red Sox 16-65, and that is 10. Halos 662, that's 6. It'll be a win for the Bo Sox. Kansas City at Cleveland. We have these two tomorrow night. Royals 846, that is 5. Indians 546, that's 4. That will be a win for the Royals. Texas and Minnesota. Texas 13-14. That's 2. Twins 13-25, and that is 3. That will be a victory for the Twin Cities. Yankees and the A's. Yankees 11-43, and that's 5. Athletics 19-51, and that's going to be 7. That'll be a win for the A's. Baltimore and the Mariners. Baltimore 2-44, and that is 3. Mariners 16-65, and that's 10. A win for the M's. Milwaukee at Toronto. Brewers 12-55, that is 6. Blue Jays 3-32, and that is 2. A win for the Brewers. Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Pirates 10-62, and that's going to be 7. Braves 4-26, and that's 2. That will be a win for the Bucks. Reds and the Cubs. Reds 13-62, and that's going to be 7. Cubs 13-25, and that is 3. That game belongs to the Reds. Cardinals and the Astros. Cardinals 5-11, that's 0. Astros 13-44, and that is 5, and the Astros will win that game. Giants and the Expos. Giants 8-51, and that is 5. Expos 10-61, that's 6. A win for the Expos. Dodgers and the Mets. Can the Dodgers win three games today? Dodgers 5, nope, not there, 5-56, and that's going to be 5. Mets 7-35, and that's going to be 3. No happy recap in that game. Padres and the Phillies. Padres 1255, that is 6. Philly 762, and that is 6. They tie. Padres roll a 6. Both teams roll a 6. San Diego +0. Philly +0. It is a tie. Philly gets the win by virtue of home field. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow will be May 31st, our final game for the month of May. We will be at Cleveland Stadium, the Mistake by the Lake. The Kansas City Royals will take on the Cleveland Indians. Mark Gubicza will go for the Royals, and John Farrell will go for the Indians. So a good matchup hopefully tomorrow night between the Royals and the Tribe. Royals, Indians, Gubicza, and Farrell. Be there or be square. Steeler fan, Brian B., Chuck Rawlings, Al Red Sox fan, Cards and Dice TV, Salvador America, King Twan Gaming, John Soner, David Vega. Thank you all for joining me tonight, or I should say today. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. Enjoy the football games today, and we'll see you tomorrow night. The final score of this game is 2-0. In a game historically, there were 21 runs. So as I said, sometimes inside pitch has a mind of its own, and that's just fine. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take care.